We talked about last night.
Give away some of my homework I put out for y'all later accidentally. Hope y'all didn't have time to see all that. Some of my stuff I worked on.
They weren't paying attention.
What?
They weren't paying attention. So.
Yeah.
So they weren't paying attention. I'm sure they didn't see nothing.
Okay. Good morning, Jingle 78, Nessie Jessie, Patty Houck, Selena Dixon, Cammie Burchett, Jennifer Thornhill, Smiley Stories World, everybody. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Say hi.
I did. I said good morning, everybody.
Yeah, wait till I'm done, then you speak. That's how this works.
Good morning, everybody. Is that better?
Much better. I felt it. I am dumb as a rock today, Jesse. I'm having a little struggle, but I think I've got all my shit finally ducks in a row. Let's say. Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Brandy got a little behind because we got called to go on the reporter room at the last minute. Jessica don't give us no warning.
No.
It's, hey, it's 4:30, 6 o'clock. I need y'all on. Nah, she told us the day before.
Yeah.
But where she does a ton on Kylie Rodney, she knows a lot more about it than we do. And we were trying to cram so we'd be prepared because we don't want to go on there and look like
we don't know anything.
We don't know what's going on.
Which I know the highlights of the case and stuff, but not every detail.
Right. And Jessica has tons of details.
Mm-hmm.
And she even went down as to how much the lungs weighed and why that's the way it is from the autopsy and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I learned from her, I didn't know this before, that after you pass, one of the best ways to check for your toxicology is through your eye.
Yeah, that's usually where they get the sample. Well, if you're underwater, she said it's the best way.
Right.
Yeah. But they couldn't get us a good sample on Kylie, so they had to extract it from her liver.
Yeah.
So.
And they say, the liver is not as accurate.
Yeah.
And you know what? I seen something, and I seen this after we talked to Jessica, getting ready for today, and I seen something that I thought was interesting about that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Here is basically what they're saying was found in Kylie's system. Caffeine, nicotine, ethanol, which is alcohol, and delta-9 carboxy, THC. So she had a little bit of weed, a little bit of alcohol, some caffeine, and she apparently had her a cigarette or a vape or something with nicotine.
Nothing alarming.
Nothing super alarming. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Her alcohol level was fairly low, considering, in my opinion, how her friend had described the night.
Mm-hmm.
I expected to be that alcohol level to be way up there, or pretty high.
Yeah.
It was barely over enough to get charged with a DUI. it was on the very lowest end.
Yeah.
Now, she's only 16. She's kind of small, so that's not to say she wasn't fairly intoxicated.
Right, and her under the water might have some kind of, impact on the results, the length.
That's where I'm getting to. I found out this. The amount of ethanol is equivalent to 0.088 blood alcohol content, or slightly above the legal limit for an adult driver. But ethanol is also a product of decomposition,
right,
and it cannot be determined how much of the ethanol level was a result of drinking alcohol.
Yep.
So what that tells me is her alcohol level could have been even lower than that, and there's a good chance it was, because there's a good chance ethanol was produced as a result of decomposition.
Yeah. So who knows?
Okay. Now I'm not saying it wasn't an accident. I'm just saying people talk about reasons that you could doubt it, and I think that's one. I think everybody assumed if it was an accident, she was going to have a really high alcohol content.
I don't think it was an accident.
I assumed that,
Yeah.
And knowing the level they found at was as low as it was, if you add in the fact that some of that was what was produced from the decomposition.
Yeah. It might be off from that, you don't know. I'm sure she drank maybe something based on what everybody else says, but who knows?
Well, the way they tried to put it, they made it out like she had drank a lot.
Yeah, that she couldn't even drive.
Yeah.
And those levels are not high. So
it's wild.
Everything about this case is weird, I think.
The weird thing number 2 we found out, well, Jessica confirmed it last night. The sheriff is the coroner.
Yeah. And usually, at least you have 2 different opinions, but nope, one opinion for both. So
now, what that does is, like, say a sheriff wanted to rule it an accident for whatever reason. He wanted to do that. One way he could be thwarted is the coroner would say, no, it's not an accident, which shows signs of this, and this. You ain't going to have that when they're the same person. This sheriff has enough power to pretty much to determine the outcome of every suspicious death in that county the way they want it to be. Am I saying they're corrupt? Absolutely not. But I don't think one person should have that much control over an investigation.
That's a very good, thing they have set up if they were corrupt, really.
If you want to be corrupt, I mean, you could basically run a hitman service and never get caught.
Yep.
Because you'd always be the one making the report. If you're a coroner making a report and there's 10 broke ribs on somebody and all this other stuff, you ain't got to say that.
Right.
You can just be like, no signs of injury. Who's going to argue it?
I wonder, too, if he has the experience to do that. You know what I mean? That is an important job.
Yes.
You should be well educated doing it.
No, I don't think a coroner is an elected position. I'm assuming you have to have credentials to become one.
Yeah.
So apparently they do have that, or they're getting by with it somehow. I'm just saying, it just seems like a conflict of interest to me, because there's no protection against corrupting outcomes.
Yeah, somebody said they cremated her, and that's a good point. There's no second opinion. The family probably wouldn't want one anyways, how they act, but
yeah, the family seems to be perfectly fine with accident and move on,
But that's kind of odd. I would want a second opinion if there's so much, stuff that's not right around the case.
Definitely. Only thing I can think of that would be worse than finding out somebody murders a child would be finding out later on that somebody murdered your child and you thought it was an accident, and this person got away with that for who knows how long.
Yeah.
Because I tell you, I am just, when it comes to me and my family, if somebody murdered my child, I would want to know that.
Yeah.
I would not want, you might say, I guess on the one hand, there's the argument, well, maybe it would be better not to know.
All right.
If you asked me, I would definitely say I want to know. I wouldn't want to not know what really happened. Whatever that truth was, however bad it may be, I would want to know.
As a parent, why wouldn't you want to know? That's what it seems like to me. I was thinking, I just can't fathom that.
But I've seen cases of parents too that like you see a case and say it's a they unalive themselves, right? And they don't want to accept that, even though it's all the evidence points at it. I've seen them like, no, somebody did this to my child. It seems odder to me to argue toward the accident
Right.
as a parent, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And if it was an accident, all this could be avoided. Everybody, this case getting so big, They have the video footage from probably day 1 or 2,
Right.
That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, we talked about that on the on
Jessica's
Reporter Room last night. That footage should have been found very, very quick. There should have been somebody that, as soon as they heard these details, that knew about that camera and had to know, hey, we know where a camera is that's got all that shit probably on it.
Yeah, it's gonna solve the case.
Kylie could have been found in a day or 2, and there wouldn't be half as many questions. Yeah. Why did that wait so long to come out? And then, is it a coincidence it came out shortly before the autopsy report?
I think it was intended for that reason. Yeah.
Me and Brandy kind of feel like its timing was purposeful.
Yeah.
To help push that accident
theory
narrative.
Yep. Get everybody in the right mindset thinking it's accident.
It definitely, the footage helps the accident theory.
Right.
It shows it go in the water, so it wasn't the next day and all that. Now, as we were talking about also, I feel like since it was an accident, they should definitely release the footage from the tow truck driver.
Oh, yeah.
And see what he's seen.
Yep.
Put it out there. Let's squash it all. But what they did was they went a different route with it. Tried to slide out that autopsy right around Quentin and all this. And it wasn't supposed to come out to the 1st of November.
Right.
By doing that, they avoided press conferences and they avoided answering questions. That's why people have the biggest problem with this.
Yeah. And why wouldn't they have a press conference? Like we were saying yesterday. They probably don't have answers to the questions. Everybody's going to ask them. It don't make sense. None of it does.
Our thinking is, and I think it's a lot of people's thinking is, if you feel very confident in your decision and you have evidence to back it up, you have the press conference.
Yeah.
There's no better way to squash something. Have a press conference, explain why this, and this is like it is, because there's lots of legitimate questions, I feel like, about circumstances. How did they come
to that? Yeah.
To explain how she ended up in the trunk.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to hear how because you can't think it was an accident and somehow she was in the trunk when the accident happened. So are they saying that somehow the body made it to the trunk after the car went in?
I wonder if there's some kind of test somebody could do to see if that would be, could happen.
I mean, you could do a recreation, but I mean,
I'm just wondering if she could actually get back there,
Nothing is impossible, but
it would be
it's unlikely, it seems.
And another big thing, Jessica, I didn't realize this, but the phone call was at the exact time the car was going in the water.
The phone call was actually
A little bit after.
after the car was
Yeah.
underwater.
How do you explain that? That's really weird.
There's a lot of weirdness about it.
They probably didn't have an answer to that one, did they? You know,
And AWP. Everybody's seen Nick when he come up.
how
Nick from AWP. The look on his face. AWP has found many bodies.
Yeah.
He looked to me like whatever he seen was
not right.
above and beyond what he expected to see. Now they pretty much, I think, knew that was her car before he ever went down. He has seen bodies before. I feel like he saw something that stressed him more than you might have expected him to be.
Yeah, and they did interviews and stuff too. Some of the answers they give kind of makes me feel like there was something up. You know, they got that feeling. So based on what they see.
I have to go with, though, I feel like that this is never going to be fully accepted by anybody if it ends where we're at right now.
No. It's another incident, like, makes you think a little bit less of law enforcement. Not all law enforcement, but they've let us down once again. I have, you know.
She says wrong. Nick had never seen a body. I would have assumed all they found, he had been a person that found one of them. Well, I mean, still, the look on the guy's face looked horrified to me. And I mean, them themselves said they found it suspicious. Now, did they find it suspicious only because
she was
in the back?
Right.
Is that it?
And when her shoes was off, which I don't know, that's a big deal. But
yeah, if I don't know.
Even accident, I think they should have did a little bit better of a job with the evidence and everything. It should have been handled better.
Well, I mean, they're AWP themselves. You can take all the if everybody disagrees about the Nick thing, that's fine. Take it out. They still said they thought it was suspicious.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
Okay.
And somebody asked them, I know in a interview, if she had clothes on or off. They didn't really answer, but the way he was acting made me lead to maybe she didn't really. If y'all go back and listen to that interview, he did.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, but we just thought we'd give y'all kind of the updated overview. And, you know, we talked about it on Reporter Room last night. And that's pretty much where a lot of people are at with the Kylie thing. Is a lot of people are just having a hard time accepting the accident theory. But I seen something the other day about the state police was still going to have a report they release. And I don't see how anybody can honestly release a report saying they investigated where the car was found.
No, they didn't. Yeah.
Is there an agency going to come out and say that it was investigated where the car was discovered and that helped roll into the accident theory?
Yeah.
Because.
And I think how the family acts, like they're okay with accident theory, so let's just do that and get by with it. Let's go on with our life.
You know, usually, like when you have something like this come up, the family is at odds with law enforcement, and that's, you know, one reason cases get reopened a lot and stuff like that. But, you know, if Kylie's family feels like they're happy with the investigation and, you know, they believe in it, then I think law enforcement's, they're not going to be doing any more. I don't think.
Yeah.
And why would they? If they feel confident in their decision and the family's on their side. You know, I think this is pretty much where Kylie's investigation is going to end.
Yeah.
And if that's the way it is, there's always going to be a lot of questions, like how she was in the back. You know, I find it odd that her alcohol level wasn't higher.
Yeah, me too.
Especially finding out that, you know, decomposition can account for some of what it is. You know, I really expected.
I think it's weird where she ran off into the water. Like there's a long distance between the road and the water. You know, what was she doing in between that time?
And in the video, it looks like there's other people that should have heard that.
Yeah. So.
In the vicinity, you know, I don't see how that went unnoticed.
Like you're driving the wrong way, you see some water, you don't slow down, you just hit it. You know, don't make sense at all.
You know, and I don't know. Knowing that she wasn't extremely drunk, it makes you think she might have been able to get out. I don't know.
I was thinking too, maybe somebody was with her and that's why that window's cracked or, you know, busted out.
Maybe somebody did get out.
Maybe, who knows.
You know what I did think about too, though, is maybe she had drowned previously and she was with other people when it happened and they got scared, put her in the back of the car and run her into the lake. There wouldn't be no evidence of a struggle or nothing, right?
What do you mean drown?
Like they were skinny dipping her and a couple of friends earlier. She actually did drown. They got scared because they had been drinking and partying and did that.
Maybe.
Then the sheriff would still be right about what the cause of death is. It's possible, you know?
Yeah. The whole thing don't make sense.
Hi, Harsh. Bye, Harsh. He popped in and said, got a dash. He'll catch the replay. What if someone pushed the car into the lake? That's what I'm saying. With her in the back, I would love to hear that explained, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I'm gonna watch that video again and see how long of a pause it was between her, you know, slowing down and going into the water. Did you notice that part on the video? I didn't either.
No. I have, between my eyesight nowadays and the quality of that video, I have a hard time making it out. You know?
And you know, law enforcement didn't say they released that video. Who knows? Somebody might have took it and edited it and put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know? Because they haven't came out and said, yeah, that's the video. It's 100% accurate. So they're just letting us believe that, maybe. Who knows?
That's something for y'all to think about, though. Run it over in your mind. Leave us some comments on the rewatch gang, you know? And we're going to move on from Kylie. And we got some other stuff we need to get to. One of them is something that it's nice to be a YouTube guy because it affords me certain advantages that other men/husbands don't have.
Oh God, what are you gonna do?
Huh?
My birthday.
There's your birthday card.
Yay.
All dudes don't give birthday cards like that, right?
Yeah.
Looking hot too, right?
Just don't put my age on there. We're good.
Everybody, today was the wife's birthday.
Yay.
We're not allowed to mention which birthday.
Yeah.
Just that it was this day on this year.
A long time ago. A while ago. Yeah.
A while back.
Yep.
Yeah. I have been accused of rocking the cradle, so needless to say, she's a bit younger than I am. Not a ton, though. You done with them?
Yeah.
We haven't discussed birthday preparation, so I thought I'd put you on a spot and tell you what I wanted to do in front of everybody. After our live, I'm going to take you shopping and let you pick out something.
Okay.
Because if she doesn't tell me, there is a 0% success rate at me buying anything, clothing that she's going to like.
And I have a hard time myself making a decision, so I never know what I want, really.
Yeah.
I can't decide.
I've seen her for hours before in the store, holding up one purse, holding up another purse.
Yeah, that's me.
Sit them both down and just go.
After I look at them.
After 30 minutes of this.
I don't want either of them. I'm out here.
Mind-boggling. Mind-boggling stuff. But happy birthday.
Thank Thank you.
I told Taylor this morning. Taylor went there and impressed her. She was like, "Happy birthday, Mommy."
Look, you remembered. My other kids didn't remember.
See, Taylor's birthday's next week, so
Yeah.
if anybody don't have a great excuse for missing the birthday, it's Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Messy Jessie.
Thank you, Messy Jessie.
Messy Jessie give you a $20 birthday
Oh,
present.
yay.
Awesome.
Thank you. That's nice of you.
I don't think we had a show on my birthday, did we? I don't know.
I can't remember.
And as you can see, you've got tons of happy birthday wishes in the
Thank you, guys.
section. All right, we're going to move on now. Dawn is getting out in approximately 13 days.
What day does he get out? Halloween?
Gets out on the 30th.
Oh, 30th.
Day before Halloween.
He'll be able to dress up, go trick or treating.
What day's Halloween on?
31st.
What day of the week?
Friday.
I think, yeah. I thought it was a Monday for some reason.
No,
Look and see real quick. Because I was thinking, would they let you out on a Sunday? It
No,
seems like there'd have to
not.
be people there for that, don't it?
What y'all think he's going to do?
Well, we showed the poll last week.
Yeah. What was the winning?
Here, if anybody didn't see it, we'll go over it again real quick. Here's the poll. What does Dawn go for first upon release? Yeah, I missed the comment. Let me get that out of the way.
I'm looking at the calendar. I have to pull it up here.
Everybody pretty much selected that Dawn would first go for a beverage, then Candace, YouTube, and church came in last at 9%.
You might do them all one night.
Halloween is on a Monday. I thought so.
Oh, good. You found it.
Oh, Brandy, happy birthday. You're not going to believe that today is my daughter's birthday. Also, boy, do we have my son and daughter there.
Oh.
That is crazy. That's the one I look just like her son.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Kara.
Tell her happy birthday.
Thought we said happy birthday, Kara. That's wild, isn't it?
Libra. A Libra twin.
I don't have his picture on this. I'm going to put it on here for next time and show everybody. It's wild how much I look like Kara's son. All right, on to Dawn is where we was going, and
oh, Dawn Wells. He's sitting there right now, dreaming of what he's going to do when he gets out.
Oh man, you know these next 2 weeks are going to like creep by for him. You know what?
Hopefully he won't go do anything he's not supposed to be doing, but who knows?
Now,
so will he be on probation or no, since he served his time out? I wonder. I don't know.
I can't remember if he gets probation or not.
I hope, because it would keep him straight a little bit, you know.
He was on probation when he went to jail.
Oh, yeah.
When he got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Now, I have really tried to figure out this statute of limitations issue in Utah, because I know we were told that the big thing was before that in Utah there are no statute of limitations, and then go back as far as they want. That's not what I'm seeing, actually. It says here, the general rule is that a felony prosecution must be commenced within 4 years after the alleged criminal felony act is committed. Negligent homicide also must be prosecuted within the general 4-year Utah felony statute of limitation. This general felony statute of limitations does not apply for A, forcible SA shall be commenced within 8 years after the offense is committed.
Oh.
If within 4 years after its commission, the offense is reported to a law enforcement agency. So that to me says, and this was on a lawyer's website in Utah, and it's the only one that really breaks it down this well.
Mm-hmm.
That was never reported because Dawn's dad covered it up.
Right, yeah, it wasn't reported.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest issue, even if you don't look at the statute of limitations part, is it was never reported in.
Yeah.
You know, and they're saying here
8 years.
8 years. Well, it's been 40, 45 for the longest. You know, 40 in there for all of it. 40 to 45 years is basically when it all went down. But it says incest shall be commenced within 8 years after the offense is committed. Because I thought that might apply because it is, they do share a parent.
Right.
If within 4 years after its commission, the offense is reported to a law enforcement agency.
And it's way beyond that.
Way beyond that. And, you know, we talked about that a little bit last night, too.
It's sad, the whole situation there.
You know, I don't see Dawn getting extradited. I really think if it was going to happen,
it would already happen.
There'd be stuff coming out.
So it's a civil matter right now, correct? Is it? Can you still do? Or
the way we understood
as a civil.
Cam says he's really looked into it, and he says after so many years, it goes from a criminal matter to a civil matter. So I think there could be a lawsuit brought, and I guess him sued.
Civil, yeah.
Now, I don't know how much of that you'd see. He'd just go under the table doing drywall, and
right.
I don't know, you know.
If he did, yeah.
Maybe that's why Ben Hill's all boarded up.
Maybe. Who knows? What?
He's getting sued for it. Who knows?
Oh.
But as far as, you know, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news because I know a lot of people feel really strongly about this, you know.
Yeah.
And are expecting him to be arrested by Utah. And
but you think, well, I shouldn't say
it doesn't look good.
People in law enforcement background should have had it, already knew that or researched that, you know.
That's why I'm so confused about this. Because everywhere I look, it points at it's been too long and they're not going to be able to do anything. And, you know, if it was able to be prosecuted, Don's put out the majority of evidence himself.
Yeah.
Don said, you know, hey, it had basically admitted to what had happened and admitted to a lot of stuff that you would be charged for and said it a few times. So he'd be his biggest enemy if it was charged.
Right.
He has said enough that he would convict himself if it could be used in court. I don't know if they could introduce stuff you said on YouTube in court, but
maybe. I don't know. The whole situation's kind of strange, not good, you know.
No, it's not good. And, you know, I've said this too before, you know, it makes you wonder what kind of man his dad was that would cover that up.
Yeah.
Because that's also his daughter.
They say a lot of times that behavior is learned from, you know.
It's generational learned behavior, yeah. And we all know Don Jr. is a registered offender.
Yeah. Because as a kid, you think that's okay. You grew up with that, you know. It's sick, but it's the truth, you know. It might have something to do with that, too. His dad was very wrong for not doing anything about that.
Yeah.
It probably ruined that little girl's life, or, you know, his sister's life. Really messed it up.
Yeah. It definitely had a bad effect. You know, I know that a lot of people that go through that, it's forever affects their life in a negative way. Yeah. Seems like it really affects people's self-worth is from what I've seen.
Even people don't think it affects them, but it shows, you know, in certain things, I think, you know.
Right.
So, definitely.
You know, and it's like a lot of things, you know, you may not even know it's affecting you, but, you know, your behaviors and things you've done can probably be attributed to it. So,
definitely.
Like I said, I'm not trying to be, you know, one way or the other on it. I think if that's what he did, he should answer for it. But I don't want everybody being shocked if he walks out and he isn't.
Barbara said in one of the interviews, Mary said she was essayed by the brother-in-law also, but they never brought charges on him either. Maybe, see, I think it's okay in that family, which is awful.
See, and that's the bad thing about that situation too, is that was on Candace's side too.
Both sides.
Her Uncle Warren is a sick dude. He's got a lot of charges also.
Yeah.
And you know, when you got it on both sides like that and they come together, then you know it's going to be bad because you don't have somebody there that's not used to it, not accustomed to it, right? You don't probably have that voice that's fighting against it as strong as it should.
And Candace might have been, a victim of it.
I would say there is a good chance Candace was victimized, probably. Because her mother wasn't there for a large portion of her childhood.
Right.
So
I could tell something really affected her in her life, just the way she acts and stuff. So,
Yeah.
So I get that feeling.
Oh, definitely. But that's where it is with Dawn. Like I said, 13 days and Dawn's getting out of jail, more than likely, unless we all get blindsided, and it does happen. But everything I can find points to it's not going to.
Yeah, the best thing that could happen, him coming out and not drinking, not doing drugs, and out there trying to find his daughter,
Yeah.
So we'll see what he does.
'Cause-
It's time to grow up, Dawn, right?
Good.
It's really time.
Yeah. And also, if Dawn is innocent, doesn't have nothing to do with it, he is the one that can help Summer more than anybody else. The family. The family has more chance of interacting with law enforcement and having some weight than anybody. You need a family member out there fighting for you.
Yeah, you do, or it goes cold, eventually.
Like, you see, take Kyron, for instance, Kyron Horman. He has his mother still fighting for him. Still. I see her doing interviews and stuff. And that's, that's what Summer needs is somebody from the family to be fighting for.
Yeah. Natalie Holloway, her parents were out there but you remember that?
Yeah.
Still out there trying to find her. It's very sad, that situation, her mom and dad.
I think having a family out there working hard and trying to keep your name out there can do a lot to help find people, and Summer needs that. And we can do as much as we can, but I still don't know how we can be as effective as a parent or a relative, at least.
Now Quentin, that little boy, that's an awful situation too.
We had a bad week last week.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did the Quentin thing happen, and a lot of people seen that, but I don't think a lot of people seen it. We mentioned it, and I know a lot of people didn't know it, was that Jalissa Fuentes was also found.
Yeah. I was happy she was found, but sad, how they found her. I was really wondering about her. Because it's like she just disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really, if you've seen some of Jalissa Fuentes' stuff, heartbreaking. Her family is struggling bad.
Yeah. But they had a press conference, and the dad's out there thanking law enforcement, it was a sheriff, or I think the sheriff
deputy.
Yeah, that found her. He kept on searching for her.
Yeah.
He found her.
And that's awesome, man. That shows you, man. Don't think that some of these police aren't really good people, because they are, and they really are trying.
Yeah, because he had searched that area. They already searched it, and he had a feeling, so he went back there to look.
And this is an article I found about Jalissa. It says the Fresno County Sheriff's Office released video and photos of the rural foothills in the northeastern part of the county where missing Selma woman Jalissa Fuentes was found dead after a 2-month search. So it's been a full 2 months. The case made the missing 22-year-old something of a household name in the region as the family organized search parties, hung flyers, and spread the word on Facebook. The grieving father, Joey Fuentes, said Tuesday his family felt support from people around the country who reached out on social media. I want to thank the community, not just the community, the whole nation, he said, as his voice raised with emotion. The cries and the pain from my wife, my sisters, my whole family was heard around this whole country. Fuentes had last been seen about 4 a.m. August 7th at an AM/PM gas station on Nebraska Avenue in Selma. Police have said video footage caught her driving away in a car alone. They still kind of don't understand why she was going the direction she was.
Yeah.
Selma Chief Rudy Alcaraz on Tuesday said investigators had tracked her cell phone and very little activity occurred after the night she went missing. Selma police and the sheriff's deputies have begun to focus search efforts near Pine Flat Lake and Alcatraz on Monday, zeroed in on a curve in the road at Trimmer Springs and Maxon Roads, about 60 miles from where Fuentes was last seen. So she was quite a ways from where she was last seen.
60 miles. I didn't know that.
The area had been previously searched, but some areas in the mountainous region are steep and covered with brush. Searchers were not able to see the car crash site from the road, he said. Wow, that's amazing they found her. Alcaraz spotted some tire tracks in the road while he was on foot near the curve. So that shows you, man, this guy is 60 miles away from where she was last seen on foot out there looking.
Mm-hmm.
God bless him. The sheriff's office responded to the area with a drone, and searchers rappelled about 400 feet to the crash, hidden in the brush. Photos and videos footage show 400 feet.
You see the car? It was tore up, that car.
Wow.
That is strange. I didn't know that it was that far, 60 miles. I don't understand where she was going, you know?
That is a deep drop, 400 feet. Says Alcaraz began searching about 1 p.m. Monday, and the car was discovered by a search team about 6 p.m. Alcaraz said Fuentes liked the area and likely went for a scenic drive. Given the hour, he said, she possibly fell asleep at the wheel.
I don't know why you'd be going for a scenic drive at not
That's
in the
kind of
morning.
odd.
Yeah.
California Highway Patrol, which is conducting the ongoing investigation, said in a Wednesday news release it was unclear why the car left the roadway, if Fuentes was wearing a seatbelt or if she was impaired. A sister has previously said Fuentes called her twice through Facebook Messenger about 5:25 a.m. on the morning she went missing, but the sister missed the calls as she slept. So that would be like, what time was she leaving the store?
I don't know. Hold on.
Alcaraz said there was no phone service in the area of the crash, so investigators believe those calls happened before she left the roadway. So they're saying where she was found, there wasn't no signal. I didn't realize she was that far away, did you?
No, that makes me think something's up there. It's crazy. Maybe you don't like, but that's weird to go for a scenic drive in the AM hours, you know?
Yeah.
I'm glad she was found, but...
Yeah. And, you know, like I said, her family is heartbroken, tore up over that. I am so glad that they ain't having to go forever without knowing what happened to her. And the way it describes the area where they found her, that could have possibly happened. Or not forever, but who knows how long it would have been. 400 feet off that cliff. That's amazing. That's high up.
Yeah. I'm hoping she didn't suffer.
And they had a picture of her car. This kind of, that's what her car looked like.
Wow.
You know.
I get the feeling too, her family is in a lot of pain, but they're also thankful for them helping her, helping find her, you know.
Her family seemed like really good people, man. They thanked everybody that, you know, had helped and everybody on Facebook that had given them, you know, well wishes and all that good stuff. I think that's awesome. That
And AWP went to search. I don't know if they searched that lake right beside where she was. I'm not for sure. I know they did go to help.
Yeah, AWP had win.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's my understanding she wasn't in water, so
Yeah. They wouldn't have found her.
that's not kind of their expertise. They're better at finding people in water.
Somebody car said it looked like her car was hit from behind. Huh.
Well, I mean, it's hard to tell what it would look
Yeah,
like
it's a
falling
mess.
400 feet. That is, I don't know if everybody appreciates how high that is. That's like a 40-story building, 400 feet.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is a long drop. That's awful. We started the other day, we were going to talk about it, and we actually brought it up. Some people knew what we was talking about, and some didn't. But in Oklahoma, and I can't pronounce the name of the town, of Okmulgee,
Yeah,
there was 4 guys that went missing.
right.
And these 4 guys were buddies. From what I've seen everywhere, salt of the earth dudes, family guys, and they went on a bicycle ride.
Very strange. Almost at nighttime.
And I mean, I don't think that's strange that they went on a bicycle ride. For some people, that's their thing, you know. Anyway, these 4 guys hadn't been seen since. Their wives are like coming out to the media and everybody, and they're like, "Hey, our husbands are missing. These guys are not the kind of guys that would go missing.
Mm-hmm.
They're not irresponsible people, you know.
They would be home.
They would be home. Something's up, and they had been looking for them. Well, it looks like this is going to have a very bad ending."
Thank you, Jesse. She donated a membership. Who's the lucky member? Sugar Mama, he got you a membership. Thank Jesse.
Thank you, Jesse. You're awesome.
Let me up this one.
Jesse's got us about 50 members.
Oh, if I can. Ooh, my foot fell asleep. Ooh, crap. Why? Oh, no.
But I found this, and this is, I feel, well, just let me read it to you guys. And like I said, I have a hard time pronouncing that name. Okmulgee, Oklahoma. Police in eastern Oklahoma said they have discovered human remains in their search for 4 missing men who were last seen riding their bikes last Sunday. Investigators have been canvassing the area around Okmulgee, Oklahoma, all week looking for 32-year-old Mark Chastain, 30-year-old Billy Chastain, they were brothers, 32-year-old Mike Sparks, and 29-year-old Alex Stevens, who were reported missing on Monday by their families. The Okmulgee Police Department said the 4 were close friends. They were believed to have left Billy Chastain's house on the west side of Okmulgee on Sunday night and were all reportedly on bicycles. The remains were found Friday afternoon in a river southwest of Okmulgee when a passerby told police they had noticed something suspicious protruding out of the water. Officers responded and discovered what appears to be multiple human remains in the river, but we do not know that this is our missing men yet, said the chief of police.
But barely likely, probably, right?
Yeah, it's in the area near, well, they were in that area, and no, I don't think there's anybody else that is missing. Even though the remains have not been positively identified, Princeton said the missing men's families were informed of the discovery out of respect. If it turns out that these 4 missing men are the remains in the river, then the focus of our investigation will shift from finding them to what happened to them. But if it's not them, then we're back to square one. Prentice continued. Multiple agencies, including the Oklahoma Highway Patrol boat team, were at the river to assist with the recovery process. Photo data previously suggested that the men may have ridden out of town in the opposite direction of the river. So police said they hadn't considered the area where the river is located. We have more questions than answers, said Prentice in a press conference Friday. So that's kind of weird, ain't it?
Yeah. I did see too. Did it say in there one of their phones pink at a salvage yard?
Yes, it didn't say that in this article, but yeah, I seen what you're talking about. So where they were found apparently was not near that salvage yard, because they're saying the river and stuff was in a different direction from where they thought they were headed. So that's really strange to me. How 4 men could get into the river on bicycles,
right?
And that happened to them, you know.
And I seen somewhere they said it was probably foul play. Law enforcement said that.
I mean, that's odd, right?
Yeah, it's odd.
4 men, grown men, in that river. Have any of y'all like heard about this, seen this? I think it's extremely suspicious how this could happen. And you know, 4 men.
Not
4.
1, not 2, but 4.
I don't see.
It would have to be foul play, really, unless it's like a earthquaker and they fell down the hole or something, you know. But they weren't, because they were all found in the river. I don't think they would have drowned, you know. So it makes no sense.
And these guys were in their 30s, you know, early 30s.
It's awful. A lot of them have kids. Four dads. Well, maybe 4 dads. I don't know if they all had kids. That their kids don't have parents or dads now.
There's 3 families. 2 of them were brothers. That lost somebody.
Well, I'm just saying they all could be dads, and there's 4 dads gone now. Their kids are without dads. You know.
I just don't. I cannot
figure out what
in my mind think what could have happened that all 4 of them had went for a bicycle ride and ended up in a river.
Dead.
And the river is in the opposite direction of the direction they were going and where their phone pinked. Does anybody have a good
explanation
theory that could explain that? I don't.
Bigfoot, but I don't think Bigfoot's violent. I hope he wouldn't be. I'm just saying it's weird.
I don't think Bigfoot
I was just picking.
Could run all 4 of them down on bicycles.
I was just picking.
I just don't understand it. I have a hard time thinking this. How would, unless when they retrieve these bodies, they find gunshots. I don't know how you could control 4 men in their 30s unless there is multiple offenders.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. It's probably a gun. There'd have to be some way to threaten them. So
Rapunzel says, I heard dismembered. Now, I had seen something that gave me the idea it could be something like that, but I haven't seen it confirmed. I didn't want to mention it, but
that's even creepier. Really, there's a lot of stuff going on in our. Go ahead.
It would be so hard to control 4 men.
I was just saying, there's a lot of stuff right now going on in the United States that's very strange. A lot of violence for some reason. It's very sad here lately. Every time I don't watch the news, but every time I turn on YouTube, there's somebody else missing or a mass shooting. I don't know what's going on. You know, it's very, very sad. I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't know these guys were shot. We don't know what.
No, I'm just saying all the violence lately.
I just can't come up with a scenario in my head that makes sense even for an accident.
Yeah, me either.
You know, I could see maybe, you know, they were riding and it got dark and they run off the side. But, I mean, 4 of them did it and all 4 of them drowned?
This is my opinion. Maybe it had something to do with drug meetup or something that went bad. That's my opinion.
I'm not having that opinion because I have no clue that these guys were into that.
Well, I'm just saying.
No.
In that area, it's a high drug area.
I don't know too many people that ride bicycles for something like that. I just can't understand it. Nothing makes sense to me. Nothing.
Well, they've had problems. Their family has come out to see.
The only way I could see it coming down to that is they had to have been shot.
Yeah. Something went wrong.
Because there's no way you could control 4 adult men that I can think of without a gun.
And people don't kill people for no reason. Well, I shouldn't say that. Nowadays they can, but
yeah, people kill people all the time for no reason.
that's my opinion. It might have had something related to do with that.
Well,
my own opinion, okay, from what I've read.
I'm thinking it could have had something to do with they seen something they didn't need to see somehow.
Maybe.
They ran up on something. Maybe they had gotten off trail on their bikes and seen something, and they unfortunately were killed for that. That's about all that makes sense to me.
So was there a phone found in the salvage yard?
It just said that's where the ping was traced back to, was the salvage yard. Anybody got any thoughts on that?
What do you guys think? Am I crazy for saying that?
Prentice said that is what led investigators to the bridge over Deep Fork River, and once there, they found what appeared to be body parts protruding from the water. That is so creepy.
That's creepier, yeah.
There's nowhere in the state that isn't a high drug problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's nowhere in the country, it seems like to me anymore, there isn't a drug problem.
It's taking over.
And I tell you, I think this war on drugs with the pharmaceutical drugs has led to more heroin and
fentanyl
and crack and ice, meth, and all that shit. I think it's gotten worse, if anything.
Yeah.
You know? Wouldn't they have gone in a car then? Yeah, see, that's what I don't get. You know, is the leaving on bikes, and it's just wild. I am so interested to see what comes back from the autopsies, because I think that'll give us a good idea of what happened. If they're dismembered, then apparently it was something super nefarious. You know, if it was just 2 of them, you could think, well, maybe it was an animal attack somehow. A bear out in the wild got them. But 4, I just can't see that.
Maybe there's something going on at that salvage yard they seen. Who knows?
I was thinking of that. Maybe the salvage yard's a clue. Yeah. I mean, I know on Breaking Bad, the salvage yard is where they met one time. You know?
They need to look there, maybe. I'm sure they are, but.
That old guy that the Netflix documentaries about making a murderer, I can't remember his name for the life of me right now. Stephen Avery. They run a salvage yard, didn't they? Yeah. Who knows, man? Who knows? Guys, we're about to the point we're going to wrap it up, but I got a video coming out as soon as we go off here that's going to blow y'all's minds. Is it not?
It blew mine.
And that's not overhyping it. And it's got something to do with the summer case. I'll tell you that.
New information.
It's new information I've never heard before.
Right.
And people that I know that know about the case have never heard it before. So if this has come out before, then I've never seen it or heard it, and nobody I've showed this to has either. But I have found somebody that lived so close to Summer, it's disgusting, and they have a history.
History.
It's going to blow your mind.
It would be a perfect suspect, right?
Yeah. And you're just going to have to see, because I don't want to give any more away. I want everybody to watch the video.
It'll be a good video.
And I'm telling you, when you see this, you're going to be like, I had no idea. And like I said, me and Brandy are trying to cover lots of different cases and do it right and do it well. And we're doing the best we can. Some people get mad at us because we'll get a fact wrong
Mhm.
here or there. We apologize. We don't do it on purpose. It's just we want to get everybody some attention.
Yeah.
Quentin, Kaylee Jones, all of them, and we're trying really hard. But you know, we got into this because of Summer. A lot is because of Summer.
Mhm.
Because of the stuff we had seen at the beginning of when she went missing, and we thought should be called out.
Right.
And that's why we do what we do, and for other kids too, because me and Brady's always been kind of about true crime.
Mhm.
And you know, when we see a kid missing, we really, really want that kid to be found.
Yeah.
And found safe, and I hope the best for it. And we try to do anything we can to help that. But you know, when y'all see this, if you're not surprised, I'm going to be shocked.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody for the birthday wishes for Brandy.
Yeah. Thank you, Jesse.
And you know, thanks everybody for coming. Thanks to all our members. We really appreciate all you guys do. It helps us spend more time doing what we're doing right now.
Yep.
And guys, as soon as we end this, I want y'all to give it like 1 minute and then look for my video. It's coming out as soon as we get off here, and it's going to blow your minds.
Coming out fast. Yeah, in just a minute.
And we'll see you guys Wednesday night. And I'm going to try to keep scheduling them ahead of time like I have been to give y'all more time.
Yeah,
and
so you know.
Yeah.
If y'all haven't hit the like button, y'all do that.
Hold on. Jessie has seen it. I've showed it to her. Jessie, were you surprised when you seen what I had found? Just to gauge it for everybody else, because you've already seen it. I'm dying to hear if you were kind of surprised too. Just let me know real quick so I can sign off. Nah, y'all are going to be surprised. I know it. There's not a doubt in my mind.
Jessie was surprised. She can't say anything. She's
Yes.
surprised.
No one else has mentioned it as far as I know.
Okay, good.
I was. Good. Okay, I'm telling y'all. Give it a couple minutes. I'm going to release it as soon as I get off, and we'll see you guys Wednesday night. And thanks, everybody, for being here and watching.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.